co-sign. Right now, we're going to shift into our Panther segment called Back-to-Back Winning Seasons, which we have what?
Never done.
All right. So the Panthers have had an interesting offseason. We started off by re-signing Eric Reed, cut Captain Munderland, Julius Peppers retired. We didn't re-sign Thomas Davis. We signed Matt Paredes. We surprisingly re-signed Darren Williams.
Yeah.
And the best thing, we cut freaking Matt Khalil. How do you guys feel about the offseason so far?
In regards to the offseason, if you look at a lot of the pickups that we've had, and we picked up Bruce Irvin as well for 1 year. If you look at a lot of the pickups that we have, we're not picking up players that are getting 3, 4, 5 year deals that are getting paid whatever amount of money. If you look at what they're doing, they're following the New England Patriots model in regards to building a competitive team. Now, we once had somebody in this organization who followed the New England Patriots model. I guess his ego got a little too big for his britches. They decided they wanted to get him out. And now we got the same guy who had made so many mistakes before coming in and doing the exact same thing that guy did when he was here. And I think that's a real good thing. They're finding a lot of guys who have some fire left.
Yeah.
And 1 or 2 years. And I guess I really can't speak on this in depth. I'm just glad they're not going out trying to find these marquee big names, shelling out all this money, and then it's pre-government all over.
Right.
So I'm just happy that they changed up their tactics. They're finding some key players. They're plugging in some holes. And hopefully we'll finally have a back-to-back winning season, which won't happen, though, for another 2 seasons. But there's always light. So
the name change coming for at least 2 years. Come on.
I think Hurney maybe hasn't hit home runs, but he's hit some doubles.
Gotcha.
And that's exactly what the Panthers needed to do this season. Because I'm with you, man. Like, it looks great when the teams go out and they shell out all this gaudy money for the names.
Yeah.
But we all know that doesn't necessarily make you contenders in the NFL, man. Like the salary cap in the NFL is way harder to manage than like anything else, man. And you've got to be very, very careful about how you spend your money. And I think Hurney has done. I'm not going to say it's perfect, but it within the confines of what we had available to sell out. That in itself has been a home run, and I'm so glad that he's being smart about it. As far as the players that we've gotten rid of, not to sound like a broken record, but we had to get younger. Like I've said this too many times before, and I'll just say it one more time, man. We made some very necessary moves, and we have a guy whose ego didn't get away. He was very careful and judicious about how he did it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look like it's going to be anything that we regret going forward.
Gotcha.
And quick nugget there, you mentioned about getting younger. Even though we got rid of a lot of those old guys, I think Carolina is still 26th or 27th in the league as far as average age. Wow. So even though we got a hell of a lot younger, and Greg Olsen, who I think turns 34 in another month or something, Greg Olsen is actually the oldest player on the team.
Wow.
So just imagine how young those other teams are if our oldest player is only 34 and we're still bottom half.
But the key to the key component to it is we have old productive guys.
Yeah.
Because at least they're not just.
And I'm not saying we need to get rid of Greg Olsen.
Right.
Don't
look.
Like,
honestly, I wouldn't mind it. I'm sorry.
I don't like when Ian Thomas finally gets to start. He is going to open some eyes. He's going to turn some heads. But I am not saying let's get rid of Greg Olsen. I was just saying he's the daddy on the team, and I was providing statistical data so Panthers fans don't chop my head off. Okay,
right.
cool.
And they make him the backup tight end.
Yeah.
So how would you guys grade this offseason? Pre-draft.
I give it a B+.
B+.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it a B+. And biggest reason for that is the fact that they signed Eric Reed.
Gotcha.
It's actually less to do about football. By re-signing Eric Reed, it lets me know that the team is willing to do whatever they feel is necessary. Amid the controversy, as long as you're not putting your hands on a woman or doing drugs or anything, it's letting me know that they're willing to look past some of those issues to actually build a competitive team.
Gotcha.
So big kudos for that right there.
In my opinion, the two biggest moves to me was signing Matt Paredes, replacing Ryan Khalil. He's borderline Pro Bowl center. And also signing Darrell Williams. That was pretty much unattainable. We didn't think that was going to happen. He took a deal.
There's one thing I was disappointed with Khalil being released. How come he couldn't take Nick Batum with him? I know that.
So another question: how would you? This is kind of overall. So how would you kind of grade Hurney's second tenure thus far with the Panthers?
To me, it's a 360, man. He looks like a different GM to me. But keep in mind, it's under different ownership, and that probably matters a lot.
Gotcha.
I'm a little sketch. Now let me ask you guys this: is he officially the new GM now, or is he?
Does he even know that? I don't know. I hate to say I don't know. I don't know if he's ever been officially named the new GM.
Okay, so
this is the longest interim job I've ever seen.
Exactly.
Right.
So we're Stephen A. Right? We're all being Stephen A. We're talking on stuff we don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Wow.
But as far as Hurney goes, I don't want to give him a grade just yet.
Gotcha.
I think what he's doing, I think he's just being safe. Because he may still have the interim job, which is why he's making all these safe moves.
Gotcha.
And
That's a good point.
I'd give it another season or two before I want to give him a grade to see exactly what his true plan is. But with all of these kind of small dips in the water, I can't really grade him right now.
Gotcha. So what may help your grading evaluation? The draft is coming on in-game night.
Right.
Inside joke. In your opinion, what is the Panthers' biggest need? Offense or defense? And who's the prospect that you guys are looking at?
Most certainly for me, D-line. It's specifically defensive line. And the person that I want the most comes out of the wonderful University of Florida State University by the name of Brian Burns. He is the obvious pick for the Carolina Panthers if he's still available. That dude is a beast pass rusher, which we need the most.
Okay, so my answer is a little bit more convoluted than that. I actually went and I Googled a few think pieces to see what the what the Panthers' biggest need was right now. For the most part, they have needs all over the field.
Yeah,
literally all over the field. Their three biggest needs, from what I've been seeing, is the offensive line, the defensive line, as well as a secondary. Personally, I don't think the secondary is that big of a need right now because I think Dante Jackson's going to be a beast. I think Jackson's going to be a beast.
Great rookie.
And if you put Eric Reed opposite of Jackson, I think that will be enough to hide whatever deficiencies you got in the secondary. However, if you pick up another DB, I think it can only make them better.
Gotcha.
But pass rush makes you deep.
Well, exactly, and I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Now, before I get to the D line, I'm gonna switch over to offensive. I personally believe that Cam Newton is one of the most disrespected quarterbacks in the history of football when it comes to his team or his management putting weapons around him.
I got you.
That being said, those offensive linemen, there's an offensive lineman out of Alabama, and he's predicted to be a mid-first round. I think his name is Jonah Williams.
Jonah Williams, yeah.
Jonah Williams, and he's predicted to be a first rounder. And from what I've seen, if he falls to Carolina, they're saying Carolina should probably pick him up.
Me personally, I'm going with the guy who ate Jonah Williams' lunch.
Okay.
It's got to be Cleveland Farrell.
No, stop.
Cleveland Farrell.
Okay,
Look, I'm biased.
So now I'm going back to the defense, right? Going back to the defensive line.
All right.
Now, like Jamal said earlier, your secondary is only as good as your pass rush.
Right.
Yeah.
With that being said, if old boy comes up to now, who's actually announcing our picks this year?
McCaffrey and
so if McCaffrey comes up and he says with the whatever pick in the whatever draft the Panthers select, if that old lineman Williams is there, you pick him up. But there's another player that if he is there, you pick him up before wins. And his name is
Cleveland Farrell.
Let's go. Let's go.
Look, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Florida State pass rushers in the NFL is absolutely ass. It's a history of this. It is a history of this. Look, he has a good motor. Okay, cool. Cleveland Farrell is more talented. Look.
Tell me more.
Cleveland Farrell is a champion. He's championship pedigree. He has a motor. I'm telling you, like,
okay.
We need to draft this kid.
Farrell will be what casual NFL fans thought Jadeveon Clowney would be.
Yeah.
That's a strong statement.
And I will stand by 2, 3, 4 years from now when we're still trying to get back.
And then on top of that, one guy who trumps all of them if he falls, Montez Sweat. I'm telling you.
Now that's who we can agree on.
That guy, if he falls,
Montez Sweat to me is a game changer.
Let me tell you something. You hand that card to Christian McCaffrey, run your 4-2 ass up there and hand this card right now and go mind changing. Look, that kid is 265 pounds, runs a 4.41. The dude looks like a Greek god. I'm telling you, he's raw.
Can we agree on one thing? I'm going to tell you what will cause. There will be a riot in the street if this happens. If we draft an outside linebacker with the first round pick, I will boycott the Panthers NFL season. There's no way in hell you draft an outside linebacker.
No, I'm telling you who you don't draft. You don't draft a freaking wide receiver. If they draft DK Metcalf, I'm going to the BOA. I'm going to the BOA and I'm slapping the shit out of Tepper. Sorry.
Now, speaking of that, okay, let's say, because this will be the first off season that we go in the second round with Hurney. Mm-hmm. So let's say he follows the Patriots model. Let's say he follows Gettleman's model, and let's say he goes BPA. And let's say that outside linebacker or that wide receiver is BPA.
I don't mind in the second round. I totally don't mind. Just with your first round pick, man.
First round needs.
I believe there has to be a good balance and a good combination of BPA and what's going to best fill your needs as well. That's one of those things where I'm glad I'm not a GM because you got to hit a home run on it.
Now, also, let's say he gets an outside linebacker, right? I know we were right. However, we have an outside linebacker in Shaq Thompson who can actually play that rover position. Yeah. So maybe he's looking to do that, and maybe we'll see more of Shaq Thompson in the secondary.
And then also, I heard they're going to do some 3-4 this year, so that may help a little bit too.
Well, since you brought that up, now that kind of changes my opinion a little bit because
you want to fail train?
No. Now if they go 3-4, you're going to need that outside guy who can get to the quarterback. Now, and the thing is that will change my opinion just a bit. If they go outside linebacker that comes from a good 3-4 defense, if we are indeed going to really switch to a 3-4 defense, I wouldn't be as upset with that.
Okay,
right.
Okay, so
because the main thing, and I'm sorry to cut you off, I'll be short about this. We have to get to the quarterback.
Yeah, agreed.
We got to, man. Historically, these Panthers teams have never had problems getting sacks, and this year was tough for me to watch defensively, man, because we just didn't do it like we normally have.
Yeah, and so one thing that's troubling to me is this ugly ass hat that our draft picks want to wear. Let's talk about that. What's going on with these hats, man?
Okay, here's the deal. When it was a New Era,
New Era.
When New Era released those, I didn't even look at the other teams. I just looked at ours because there was so much flack about it, right? And when I seen it, I just laughed. I just saw it, and I took it as karmatic as a reason. It was very karmatic to me because there's been a hot topic this offseason in regards to whether or not the Panthers will move to South Carolina. And even if they do, it's not happening anytime soon. Yeah. And I just thought it was so funny that that's the topic of conversation. And then boom, they come out with a hat and put that South Carolina put that palm tree and that half moon right there.
Look, Honestly, I thought it came out April 1st. I thought it was April Fool's joke. I'm like, okay, I clicked the next day. I'm like, oh, it's still here. It's ugly hat.
So like, there's this thing online where you can design your own hat, and I thought somebody like literally just like, hey man, look at the hat I designed. Like some 8-year-olds like, hey mommy, I put the South Carolina flag on. That hat is an abomination of God. Like that hat is the most terrible. And what's funny, man, is the Panthers usually have like the most fly draft hats, man. We've had some monster fly draft hats. And I looked at that like, this is like the biggest fall off from like, this is horrible, man. I don't know how David Tepper looked at that and said, you know what, man, we're gonna go with that, man. Like we
had to though, because he's negotiating, trying to move the headquarters down.
That's a bad reason to make an ugly hat.
Yeah.
I get this South Carolina inclusion thing, man, a little bit, I guess. I'll be nice today to South Carolina for whatever reason, but that's not translating to this god awful, god-forsaken, flaggy hat, man. It is awful.
And if it makes it worse, the Falcons have the best hat.
I didn't look at any of them, so
it's fine. Look at it. Check it out.
I'll check them out.
You know, you used to go in like Walgreens or something. You could make your own card. Like it looked like that hat just fell off like a candy machine. Like that hat just came out the slot. It's like, hey guys, look at this new pair. That hat sucks, man. Nah.
All right, guys.